Okay, that was full trigger for a pretty good ways, and I could feel it's wet. Here's why you don't assume anything. The curved turn fin has not moved, but the strut has. That's a problem, that single 4mm bolt not being able to hold a setting, and then therefore you can't trust your test results. Start, stop, read, zeroed out, start, tracking. Not ideal wind conditions. I got a southeast wind, which means my normal run, I would be running into it. If I run that way and I spill it, I got a longer rescue. So I am doing the next test. I have curved turn fin still at 0 to the water surface. I have the prop shaft angle at 0. That's the change. So now the only lift I have in the back is from the 17-degree rake angle of the 1817 1745 prop. So next test as far as how much aerodynamic lift I got from the positive angle on the tub. I don't want the additional aerodynamic lift of running upwind with this change to the prop shaft angle, so we'll do that. It should stay down. It's not that bad. Maybe, I don't know, 5-mile-an-hour breeze, 7 at the most. So, okay. And I'm going to try to push it through the transition a little quicker just to see how it behaves. And we'll get to see it better. It'll be closer to us. Be harder for me to pick my line. Okay, I got a trim issue that I just noticed. That was definitely, and I was pushing it earlier before it got speed and the rudder could become more effective, but it's definitely, prop was walking to the left, which means it was turning to the right. So let's throw a little left trim in there. Okay, 15 clicks of left trim. Woo! Almost put that one on the beach. Okay, a little more trim. Heating the lipos up anyway. Maybe I should start in closer and get my line better. Having a bit of a time getting my line. This line, it's coming more at me. That one is just going across in front of me. I'll pull right into this point here. Head out from there. Okay, so she was lifting, but went back down. Give her one go into her a little bit. Got under the wind up by the tree line, so, all right. I don't think that aerodynamic lift is anything to worry about. Check if my new cooling line's holding up, and it is. Okay, let's see what we got for speed. Not the best conditions or the best driving for that matter, but yeah, you change stuff up. It's interesting how much you get good at driving from repetitions, running the same lines. 98, all right, that's faster. I wonder how my temperature's doing on them runs. They weren't full on runs. Do one more time. Gotta turn around. Okay, that was full trigger for a pretty good ways, and I could feel it's wet. Running wet. As far as the RPMs, and I had it leveled out, full trigger, and I wasn't getting any super acceleration. And that's fine. Let's say this is testing. It's a testing process. We're not going for any PRs for sure. How are we doing for heat? Yeah, it's fine. Nice and cool. $96. Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. Just listen to the RPMs. So yeah, we are creeping up on the 100-mile-an-hour mark. So that was what I wanted to test. One thing, one change, looking for a result, and that is the how much. I need to find out how much aerodynamic lift I have in the tub. 118, 142. Okay, so we're getting temps up with these wet settings. 138 on the ESC. And this is still 6S. So my new 8S motor is tracking, shows it's almost here, but this has been good for me to do this testing back on 6S, just less stressful. So testing the curved turn fin at 0 to the water, I left that the same, and then it came up to 0 on the prop shaft angle, and I'm pretty sure this didn't move. I got that nice and tight. I'm also going to order some higher grade stainless steel bolts, 4mm bolts, so I can crank that down. Stainless is soft generally. I am now not too worried. There's a point going through the transition, you can see it pretty good here on these runs, where it generates some lift, but when you start continuing through the transition, going to full trigger, the hydrodynamic lift is stronger than the aerodynamic lift, is what it's looking like to me. Just throws me a little bit. I see that gap, that's what I'm watching, the gap under the sponsons. Every run, it's came up a touch and then it just sets down, and then it's running wet. And this is still a curved turn fin. That's level. So yeah, I'm gonna probably test to the point where I'm gonna find out where that needs to be with the added aerodynamic lift of the tub. I guess probably about positive 0.2 of a degree. One other thing, I also still have my center of gravity farther forward than I normally run. Haven't played with that, mostly because this is the electronics from my other 33, and I would need to lengthen this wire to move this battery back, and I'm just not doing it. I'll wait till I set it up on 8S, and I'll set it up with the batteries farther back. I was like an inch behind the curved turn fin. One last bit of information I'd like to get on this video is the rudder trim that I added. The left rudder trim. Not ideal, because rudder trim makes for drag. And I do have my 1/8 inch toe in on the front right sponson, but running more wet, so surface running prop is walking the back end to the left, calls it turn right. Couple things: running wetter, it's biting harder, so it's walking more, and running slower, the rudder is not as effective. So I would not be surprised if after I get this up to speed, I take that rudder trim out. Won't be biting as hard, everything will be freed up, so it won't be walking as hard, and the rudder will become more effective. Here's why you don't assume anything. Cut corners. So the curved turn fin has not moved, but the strut has. That is negative 3/10 of a degree. I had it at positive 3/10, so along with the 3/10 right attitude of the hull, that would be running level to the water, and it has moved. So when did it move? By 98 mile an hour run, more RPMs, I could hear it, ran a little freer, but it may have moved at the end of that run even. So that 96 mile an hour run, the last run, I mentioned it, couldn't hear the RPMs, I had full trigger pull longer, held longer, and it felt wetter to me, and it was. That's a problem, that single 4mm bolt not being able to hold a setting, and then therefore you can't trust your test results.